Hey guys, Victor here, back again with another video helping inventors. Before I get into the topic today, check out my website. I am the founder of Invent with Passion. The website is inventwp.com. There's a lot of good information over there. Check it out, especially if you need some help with your invention or helping yourself get to market. Wherever it may be, I help people get to the finish line. So check out the website. Now, topic of today is more about something I'm noticing. Now, I've worked with inventors for most of my adult life, and it's fun. I mean, it's great. I get to work on so many different products, so many different categories, and tons of different personalities. You can imagine in the invention space, there's tons and tons of different types of personalities. There's the happy-go-lucky, the visionary, and then there's the serious lawyer type, and who just needs to get the job done. And there's there's a barometer. There's tons of people in between, and it's fun. It truly is fun. What I'm noticing, however, in particular, for the people that aren't making the progress that they deserve, for the inventors that aren't making progress they deserve, they usually fall into one of two categories: the overestimator or the underestimator. If I had to pick one to be more likely to succeed than the other, it would probably be the overestimator, because at least they've done their research. They're typically the ones that take great pain in analyzing things and double analyzing and triple and doubling down on everything. And nothing wrong with being a researcher. I'm a big advocate of research, but there is a threshold before you start getting competing information that tells you to do something and information that tells you not to do that very same thing. And so before long, especially if you start contacting tons of different companies, you're going to get advice that says go this route. You're going to get advice saying going that route. And before long, you're not going to know what to do because you got so much competing information in your head. It just makes things a lot harder. But just as a little breakdown of what it takes to release a product successfully, it's only 4 steps. IP, intellectual property. Do you need to protect your idea? You don't always need to. A lot of products on the market aren't even patent protected, believe it or not. But there are times where it makes a lot of sense. There's going to be many companies whose immediate instinct is to tell you to go out and get a patent. And that might be the right thing to do, or it could just be a big waste of money, because at the end of the day, if you look statistics, like 97% plus of patents don't actually make any money for the inventor. So, you got to take a look at the statistics and make sure you don't fall into that group. So there's times where patents make sense. Trademarks are awesome as well. There's a number of ways you can protect your invention or protect your, there's ways of protecting your idea. But it's good to look into that first. I can help you with that, and a lot of people can help you with that. But that's the first step. Next step is building a prototype, getting a sample. That's where things become really fun, actually. You can then pitch it, and you're going to look a lot better than the average inventor because you've taken the extra steps to build your product, and that's going to make great first impressions, especially if your product both works and looks good. First impressions are going to be a lot better, more favorable for you when you have something to show. At the same time, you can go out and perform a crowdfunding campaign, raise funds with it, pitch investors, contact companies for licensing, and you're just going to look a lot better once you have a prototype. You'll look a lot more professional. So that's the second step. Next step is manufacturing, which is getting larger quantities of your invention to satisfy the masses. You can't just have one, obviously. You need to get some quantity. And whether that's 500 units, 1,000 units, whatever you order, you need some quantity at some point if you're going to run a business, a successful one. And then the last step is don't forget about this step, is marketing. Building a buzz around your product. It's very, very important. So those are all it takes to release a product. And I'm seeing people work on things that aren't related to any of this. Inventors that are, I get it. It's fun for them. They're working on something they're passionate about. But if they want to make some real money with it, they're going to have to follow a process. And so those are the people that overestimate. They're the people that, they take steps that really aren't even relevant in some cases in helping them further. Now, on the flip side, you've got the underestimators. These types of people underestimate every little aspect of the product. They think their idea is just going to rip out of their head somehow and find its way into the real world without really any substantial work. It's just, well, the idea is so good that it's going to exist, and yeah, everybody else is going to do all the work for me and make this a reality because it's so good. I'm a genius. That's going to hurt you in the long run. I don't care how good your product is. Even if you have the cure to cancer, you're going to have to do some serious work to make it real, bring it to market, do the marketing, especially when it comes to IP. You got to look into that as well. It's very important. And I don't care how good the product is. Underestimating the process, or even how simple the product is, by the way, underestimating is still something that's dangerous to do. Underestimating means you don't typically take the steps that are necessary because you don't think they're important. You just don't. Like, for instance, underestimators think their idea alone is going to find an investor. It's not impossible, but it's very unlikely. That's when you need to make a prototype or get a partner to help make a visual representation or whatever it may be. You're going to have to put some real work into it. And the underestimators are typically people that don't really put any substantial work into it. They're just kind of sitting on the idea, believing that it's going to mature on its own without any intervention from them. Don't be either one of these guys. Follow a proven plan. And it goes back to the 4 steps that I laid out earlier. As long as you follow the right plan, you're going to have a better odds of being successful. And it doesn't even matter what your product is, guys. I've seen some ridiculously stupid products be successful. And you know why they're successful? It's because the business was run with a structure. There were a series of steps that these people followed to get the product made at a profitable price and marketed, making sure it's not overly expensive to do. And we can talk about this in a lot more detail on a personal call. But as long as you have a system, virtually any product you come up with can achieve sales. Now, how many sales is a totally different question. And that's something we're going to have to dive into if you're serious about getting down the invention path and building a business path and bringing a product to market path, basically. That's something to be discussed. So I'm Victor. Again, I'm the founder of Invent with Passion. I'm signing out. And if you need any help at all, get in touch with me. You won't regret it. It's going to be a great journey for you. And as long as you find the right help, you're going to make more progress than you thought was possible. So let's get to work, guys.